What's up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and of course we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video. And I wanted to see if he was actually going to address the Stuttering Craig's podcast tonight, where he discussed DSP's rant on his podcast, you know, talking trash essentially about Craig, about Keemstar, and Review Tech USA without mentioning any names. Of course, he got word of it and decided, in his words, monetize the hate, and decided to stream and did pretty good for himself. So big ups to Craig. I actually clipped some of it and posted the video. It's pretty fun if you guys want to check it out. It's on my channel. So let's get into it. Now this is 13 minutes. We're not going to watch this. So I'm going to watch the beginning clip of it where he's talking about the vest streak, you know, and the support and all that stuff. And I'll talk about that. And then I'm going to skip over to about the 8-minute mark, where Phil gives himself away yet again. And you know, my theory, folks, or my philosophy is that if you want to know if someone's telling you the truth, you just let them speak. And I believe he exposed himself today. And wanted to also talk about a quick little theory that Chill Murray talked about today on his stream that I think it's pretty good as well. And yeah, so let's get into it.
Consecutive day of said streaming week. Great progress, great new game in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Incredible amounts of support. I mean, where do I begin, right? I guess first of all, let's talk about the day and how it went today. Let's talk about the future, because there are now changes to the schedule directly dependent on the feedback I received today. And we have some good updates in regards to ongoing playthroughs, because we had some great progress in a game today. So here we go. First of all, on today's Level 1 podcast, talked about a variety of topics as usual. One of the things that I did address was the incredible amount of support that I received this week. And quite frankly, the elephant in the room, that a lot of it came from one person who is a relative newcomer. No one had really known who this person was. And I had a good discussion about it, because, you know, when something like this happens, first of all, I'm incredibly grateful for any support that I get on any of my content, regardless. But when that kind of crazy support is happening, a lot of people tend to be skeptical, because we've been down this road before where people come out and they start supporting. The next thing you know, oh, it was a trick. Here's some chargebacks, and here's this and here's that. You know, had some pretty good conversation about it, not only with the viewing audience, but also with the person themselves. They seem legit. I would say watch the podcast this morning to see how it all went down. And basically, you know, also some other, you know, news discussion and stuff like that. So a good podcast overall. A lot of Q&A and stuff that happened.
Okay, let me get into this right here. So if you watched his stream tonight, Jinx did come on and basically say, hey, I'm tapped out, and I posted the video. He said this will be the last time that he'll be able to post this kind of amount of money. I guess he ran out of his disability check. Okay, the other interesting thing is that OIC popped into the stream and gifted some memberships. And of course, Phil talked about how, how can they be the same person if they're here together? So this, to me, just galvanized my opinion that this is OIC essentially giving Phil money. He's just giving Phil money for whatever reason. I think some of it may be tied to the whole, all of the drama that's going on. Some of it can be tied to the whole Wings versus Boogie and how they made a pretty good payday, and Phil, of course, because of stubbornness, failed to cash in. And also the low-cal podcast, where, you know, recently DSP was snagged trying to steal Keemstar idea, and of course he backpedaled and tried to claim he's not involved in any of this drama, he doesn't want to deal with this, and so on. So I think OIC came out of his cave and decided to drop some serious cash on Phil. I believe it was 11 streams, about 150 bucks average. He gave him a good $1,600. I mean, it's not 10k that Keen gave Wings a Boogie, but, you know, I guess for Phil it's enough for a good amount of WWE pulls. Okay, so that's my opinion on it. And just a mere fact and coincidence that OIC popped up on stream and DSP decided to acknowledge it and say what I just stated. So I personally believe it's OIC, and he decided to drop some donations on Phil. Now there's another little part after this, around the 8-minute mark, where Phil talks about this yet again. And like I always say, if you want to know if someone's lying to you, you just let them speak. So I'm actually going to forward this a little bit to that point. Give me one second.
To make the staff again, you have to go It literally,
Alright, just talking
the
about
real
the
thing I
stupid game.
gained was armor. I got a, so he's like, you just wasted 12 hours of Garroth staff that you made like 2 weeks. What's coming up? Because now the schedule for this, I'll be off. Enjoy watching anything that you're getting caught up on. There will be one final episode of DSP versus the internet from this last Saturday, released over on my DSP React videos for Saturday's event. You have a good day away from the streams, all right? Get refreshed, feel rejuvenated. Hope you'll come back strong for Thursday. Now, I will address this tonight on the late stream. Jinx, who was the major supporter all week, literally tipping and doing all this stuff. Tonight was an insane stream, by the way, of Oblivion. Not just Jinx, but Jinx as well as Only Iced Coffee, as well as another person. They all started gifting memberships together, and it was like 20 memberships, 10, 10, 5, 10, 20. And they did so many, freaking my stream program crashed, and nothing was working. The queue wasn't updating. I couldn't get animations to work. I had to split the part, shut down OBS, log out of my streaming stuff, log back in, come back, and then it all started working again. So much support actually came in tonight. Everything crapped out. So you may notice when I come back from break, we have way more members than we had because of the insane amount of support that I got on tonight's late stream. Now, Jinx said...
Right. Didn't he say earlier that OIC hasn't been on the stream for years? But of course, now that Jinx is dropping money, right? And of course, people are saying this is OIC. Of course, just out of the blue, OIC decided to pop in and donate memberships. How convenient. What a fucking coincidence. I personally don't believe in coincidences. I believe this is, yet again, the Dents chatting amongst each other, chatting with Phil, and coordinating support. And the reason why I say that is because, of course, Phil is going to say this. And I find it so interesting that Jinx decided to come on stream today and actually say he's tapped out the day before he's supposed to go on vacation. What a fucking coincidence, isn't it? What a coincidence. It seems like it was kind of all set up between these people. And yeah, again, I personally believe, in my opinion, this was OIC and Phil coordinating. Tips and all that stuff, and for whatever reason OIC decided to come out of his cave and drop this amount of money. I just find it so hilarious that of course OIC and Jinx were on the same stream. Yes, because two people can't have two different devices logged into one and then logged into the other. Oh no, no one can do that. No one can have a PC and a phone and actually do that. Oh, give me a break.
FYI, they cannot contribute like this every week. Don't expect this next week, all right? Next week, you know, they may be here, they may support, but it's not going to be crazy hitting every goal next week. So we had 12 straight streams where we hit all of the tips goals. Thank you to anyone who could...
So yes, of course, the tips will be stopping, so the tip streak may end, which I think it is. And yeah, Jinx just came on stream to say, hey, I can't do this anymore. I might support a little bit more later on or whatever, but hey, you know, I gave you a full week or 5 days or 6 days of support. And yeah, you know, let's get the other dents to chip in, you know, because of course, like I always say, a disability check will only run you so far. So I just find it so interesting and hilarious that OIC comes on stream today to drop memberships, of course, while Jinx is on, and of course Phil has to comment on that and highlight that point. Oh, what a just glorious coincidence that is.
Contributed, engaged, or supported this week in any way. This was a huge, you know, week for the channel. The channel jumped in a big way this week with support. A lot of people now have gifted memberships, which I'm sure they're going to enjoy for the next couple of weeks with the big Street Fighter event coming up Sunday, with Street Fighter 6 coming out. They're really going to enjoy being members, I'm sure. So thanks to anyone who contributed to that. And obviously, Jinx, thank you so much. Understood, you cannot do this every day. It's been a whole crazy week. We had the hat and the vest for 12 straight streams. That is nuts. Now, I assume we're going to go back to normalcy this coming Thursday, where sometimes we'll hit goals, sometimes we won't. But in general, listen, I'm happy with the levels of support that I get. This was the really crazy week, exception to the rule kind of deal, all right?
How do you know this, Phil? How do you know this specifically, Phil? How? To me, it sounds like you've gotten some you've gotten some foreknowledge before you actually made this video today, and you knew that this was going to happen, and you knew that the tips were going to occur, Phil. You're just so obvious. You can't even look at the camera, Phil. You could just tell that you probably, and it's probably why this video was late. It probably took you 3 times to film it because you couldn't do it with a straight face.
So, here's what's going to happen this week. When I come back on Thursday, we're still going to do Star Wars Jedi Survivor as planned, and we're going to do Final Fantasy. I already beat Elden Ring into that first mission and head into the end game of the stories testing. There's going to be a Fantasy Battle 2. That means that night stream cannot be contributing like that. I don't know. We have a fighter event. Good, fun vibes this coming week.
Again, and, with the tips.
You know, will we see the support streak continue on Thursday now that Jinx will not be contributing like that? I don't know. We actually did have a stream where Jinx didn't contribute at all, and we still hit it. So I guess we'll see what happens this coming Thursday. But thank you all. Please have a good evening. Please be safe on the day off tomorrow on Wednesday.
Wow, it almost sounds like they try to prime the tip jar yet again and try to coax people into continuing the vest streak. Wow, Phil, that sure sounds like a huge coincidence. I'm positive you knew nothing about this whatsoever. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Phil is just a fraud. Why can't he just be honest and just say, yeah, OIC tipped me, I have a pay pig? I'd respect him more if he actually did that. But of course, he can't allow the narrative, which is true, a true narrative, that he has 1 to 2 or 3 pay pigs that keep his business afloat. And if it wasn't for them, he'd have to go get a fucking job. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.